Shalom. Let's start out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Agagadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great stone salutations to the Philet that's pushing this truth across four corners of the earth, all faith, truth, and sincerity. I'm one about back again. That's in. This one going to knowing these times that we in. Me myself first and foremost. The times we ain't going forward that, those that believe in the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, should fully put their faith and trust in the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua in these times, and to constantly prayer and hope for the mercies and the deliverance from the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, from Yahushua, for mercy and deliverance in these times going forward, man. Because the times that we in now and heading and going forward, it's gonna be it's gonna get chaotic. It's gonna get it could get distressful. And then those that believe in the truth of the Lord Yahweh that the apostles and the elders and the brother great men don't teach. It's all about in these times to just really fully put your trust in the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and to not don't let fear come into your mind, creep in, or doubt that whatever situation that you may be in now and in the future, that Lord Yahushua will deliver you. If you're that have hope that Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua will deliver you, and continue to pray for mercy and deliverance for Lord Yahushua, and that you be delivered from the these Edomites, these wicked devils, man. From their they evil agenda plans, or these martial law troops, whatever it may be, that's gonna come about in these times and going forward. So I'm getting into it because I'm not finna make this too long. On this Psalm 71:4, deliver me, O my power, out of the hand of the wicked, out of the hand of the unrighteous and cruel man. So this Psalm 71:4, reading this, you want to be delivered. You want to ask for the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua for deliverance from this wicked devil, so-called white man Edomites, for, like I said, from their wicked plans, agenda, from these military troops, they're gonna come through, the ICE, the ICE troop, the ICE people, whatever you want to call them. But this is something to me myself first and foremost to keep in mind, to constantly beg the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua for mercy and deliverance in these times, because going forward it's gonna get worse. Things ain't gonna get no better in America, Babylon Great. As you can see now, if you paying attention, those that in the spirit understand the times that we ain't going forward is finna get real chaotic, out of control. Things are out of control now, but it's gonna get way worse than what it is right now. It's it's gonna get explosive. It's gonna it's gonna intensify to another level. And like I said, the only ones that are gonna really keep their faith unto the end, keep their faith in keep their faith in the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is the elect of the so-called Negro, Latino natives, which are the Israelites. And hopefully I'm part of righteous number to escape the wrath of judgments of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua in these times, you know. But the Lord Yahushua, you know, will deliver his elect, you know, from this, you know, wicked devils, so-called white man Edomites, which are the Edomites, the red devils, you know, from their, like I say, their wicked agenda plans from these military troops that are gonna come through, you know. He will deliver his elect from these wicked devils, man. But go from there. Isaiah 41:10, for thou fear thou not. Read it again. Isaiah 41:10. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy power. So, go to the word dismayed real quick. So this is the etymology. Dismay, become or be alarmed, upset, or frightened. To confound, break down the courage of by danger or difficulty or fear of calamity. So, you know, you go to word dismay, to be alarmed, upset, or frightened, you know, to confound, break down the courage of by danger or difficult or fear. And that's what, you know, in these times going forward, that the so-called white man, East side of my devils, you know, what they, you know, plans are, you know, coming at you so-called Negro Latinos, you know, but you know, for the elect, for the most part, you know, is to bring that fear, you know, fear, you know, of their, you know, tactics of, you know, about, you know, violence, you know, they are violent, you know, devils, you know, they violent force, you know, and other, you know, ways they, you know, will come at you, you know, to try to break your faith, you know, in the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, those that believe in the Lord Yahushua. So that's what's ahead, you know, and that's what's coming, you know, and if you are part of that righteous number, the elect, the Lord Yahushua will not let these devils prevail, you know, or, you know, try to break your faith, because the Lord Yahushua will, you know, show his power, you know, amongst his elect, and these devils will, you know, see the power, and they're gonna be frightened, you know, they're gonna be like, oh no, you know, they gonna see it, they're gonna see the power of the Lord Yahweh Bashem in these times, you know, in these times going forward, you know, especially, like, you know, putting these devils, even my devils can put their hands on his elect. Lord Yahshua will show his power, man, you know, and get at the and show these devils he's not a power to be played with. The Lord Yahshua is not a power to be played with, man. You know, especially, you know, I said not touching his elect. But someone read Isaiah 41:10 again. For thou fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy power. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee. Yea, yeah, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. So I say the Lord Yahweh Yahushua will strengthen his elect. He will help his elect in these times. He will strengthen his elect. You know, he will strengthen his elect faith and you know, and be bold, you know, in these times going forward, and not fear nothing, man. You know, it's all about you know, putting your full trust in the Lord Yahweh Yahushua in these times, and don't let fear or doubt creep in. You know, the Edomite devils, like I said, you know, they come with these ICE agents and talking about going door to door and all this. You know, putting that fear tactic, and even more. You know, just gonna, you know, be shown more and more that you know, in those times, you know, that you know, the devil Edomites ain't, you know, they finna come down, like I say, that great wrath. You know, it's, you know, the cruel, you know, wicked devils, man, that coming at you coming at the so-called Negro Latino natives, which are Israelites. That's who they targeting. For the most part. You know. But I said, those martial law troops, ICE agents, whatever it may be, that's gonna come at the elect of the Israelites, of the so-called Negro Latino natives, that are of the elect. The Lord Yahushua he gonna show his power, to the Edomite devils, martial law troops, whatever it may be, that try to come upon to touch his elect, especially the men of the Lord, that teach the word of Lord Yahushua. He gonna show his power, but which I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that scripture real quick to back that up. What I'm saying. So let's go to Isaiah 59:19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord, Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of the Lord, Yahweh, shall lift up a standard against him. So the Lord Yahweh Yahushua will, lift up that standard. And like I said, the apostles in the Elzersburger and Millstone, the men of the Lord, that teach the word of Lord Yahushua, that had the truth, and that name Yahushua is it's a fear, It said, so read again, Isaiah 59:19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord Yahweh, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua from the west, which is the west, is America, Babylon the Great. And I said, the Apostle Elzersburger and Millstone, push that name, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. And these devils fear that. They fear, that name. And I said, the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua will lift up that standard against this so-called white man, Esau and my devils, which I'm going to go to the word standard. Like I said, what I want to say is, when it says the enemy shall come in like a flood, like I said, these ICE agents and like I said, martial law troops gonna come in like a flood, They're gonna come in, man, like I said, they talking about going door to door, So they're gonna come in, hard, man, So, we in those times, man, just, just stay alert. Me myself, first and foremost, to kind of keep it, pay attention to your surroundings, because just never know, I say my devils is gonna come down with, they'll come, like I say kicking in your door, or, come at your door, whatever it may be, confront you. But I say me myself first and foremost, and those that believe in the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, just gotta keep the faith and just hope that the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, will have mercy and deliver you from these, wicked devils. But I'm gonna go to that word standard in the blue letter. So it says to flee. So the word standard, it goes to flee, to escape, to take flight, depart, disappear, to fly, to attack. Now, like I said, like I said earlier, the Lord Yahweh Yahushua will give, he will show his power, he'll give power unto his men elect chose, to escape out of that situation. And like I say, the military troops, ICE troops, whatever it may be, gonna see it. They're gonna know. They're gonna see that power that Lord Yahushua is with his elect. The men of the Lord get that power, and I said, Lord Yahushua, make you disappear. It can happen. It happened in the stories of prophets, men of the Lord. You had a point where Peter escaped prison, right? Paul, and then You know, I say Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. You know, they put their faith in the Lord, in the Lord Most High. You know, and Yahweh. You know, and they got delivered. You know, from Nebuchadnezzar in fiery furnace. So whatever situation that may be that you in, you know that's gonna come about, and it will. That the Lord Yahweh, you know, if you're of that number, that the Lord Yahweh will deliver you from it. You know what I'm saying. It's and show his. He gonna show his power. To these devils. And they're gonna get frightened by it. But let me see. And said to cause to disappear and hide. So Lord Yahweh gonna, he gonna make, he gonna make something, not something, but he gonna make, a way, for his elect to escape and to get out of a situation. For any Edomite devils, these martial art troops, ice troops, whatever it may be, to escape out of that situation and get up out of there and be delivered. But let's see, go from there to go back. Yeah, so I think that's it. So I didn't want to make this too long, so I just want to go into that. So the Lord Yahweh will deliver his elect, hopefully on probably righteous number. The Lord Yahweh will deliver his elect from these wicked devil Edomites, from they wicked plan agendas they have, and from these martial law troops, that's gonna come, ICE agents, whatever it may be, door to door, how it come about, they're gonna come in, like I said, gonna come in like a flood, they're gonna come in, out of nowhere. So, but Lord Yahweh will deliver his elect of the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Israelites in these times, from these wicked devil Edomites, man, from these martial law troops in these times. So, with that, I didn't want to make it too long. So again, I'd like to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahshua, Bahashem, Kakadash, to the past elders, to the Sisak and brothers, to the few Akwaf sisters that do listen, keep the faith in Yahshua, keep fighting with